Hey there, so I wanted to tell you a little story today, and I'm going to make this a longer video than what I've typically done. I've posted a lot of 60-second videos on Instagram, so that's how much time you have. But anyway, this is a bit more of a story, so stick around if you're curious. And it is a story on one level about curiosity and a story about creativity. Creativity is something that I've been focused on a lot in my life, and I've talked a lot in the past about what a wonderful thing it is, but it's actually, I think, a double-edged sword. And I've been in a period recently where I've been looking at not how creativity is a bad thing, but that wanting to always have something new, create something new, find something new, well, it has to be balanced with other things, right? Because you can be so original that no one understands what the hell you're talking about, right? And that's not so useful at a certain point. So there's in fact a creativity in learning how to draw things back in and communicate with other people who may or may not be thinking of those things that feel so original to you. And there's a way that you might go out into the unknown and find that thing, but you need to also bring it back. And I'd say more generally, that's a process that I feel like I'm in right now, because I've sure gone way out into the unknown quite a lot, and I'm trying to rein it in a little, not to stop the exploration, but to make the exploration more practical, more useful. So as I was running in the woods today, this leaf fell almost directly on me, and so it was just a natural thing to open my hand and to catch it. And once I had it in my hand, it provided a different frame for the experience of running. Sure, you've been running before or done some kind of exercise, right? You're in this place of kind of more powerful movement of your body. As it turns out, I was already in a fairly soft, open, and meditative place, but to catch this leaf in my hand and then to begin to feel its texture as I continued to run opened up a different kind of experience to me. And so I just became curious about it. And this is the part of the story about what's useful about being open to experience, about asking the questions that might not immediately seem practical or useful. And I think it's also kind of a way of being in the world that expands the sense of what could be meaningful, right? Because if you ask the question no one else would ask, why did you do that? Probably because on some level you think the answer to this question might actually have some value, whereas someone else wouldn't see the potential of that value and simply wouldn't ask the question. And anything that's potential is unknown, right? It's a potential. It's something that could be the case. If we follow this path, we might find that potential thing. But so I suppose that I was also treating this call it random event, or call it fate, or call it a message from the gods, whatever you like. I treated it as meaningful, and I said, here's an opportunity to have a new experience. And I was noticing many things about the texture of the leaf in my hand, and after some time I switched it to the other hand. One of the things, as I was doing this idly, that came up, that became meaningful is, am I destroying the leaf as I touch it, or am I being respectful of its structure? Now, how much does it matter in the course of life whether or not you destroy a leaf that fell from the sky or not? Who knows? But it certainly becomes a very interesting metaphorical question. And why not, if you're running in the woods, ask yourself a question about whether your curiosity is creative or destructive. Now, I didn't I didn't set out to ask myself this question as I was running, but perhaps because of where I'm at in my life, and because a leaf fell into my hand, and because I was feeling it, and because I noticed at some moments I had a tendency to begin to crumple it, and then well, why did I ask the question? I thought if I crumple it, then this experience that I'm finding so interesting is going to disappear, because I'm going to crumple the leaf to bits and there'll be nothing left to work with here, right? So it became an interesting question. And there was a number of other things, way too many things that passed through my thinking and my body and my sensation, but I was aware of this proclivity to be very open, and I was trying to notice things about the woods around me, the sound, many other things. But this was perhaps the oddest thing, because the leaf fell into my hand, and at a certain point it became clear to me that it was only a certain amount of a coincidence, because in fact there was leaves falling all over the place. It's fall. And I'm running down the path and there's leaves falling. And I started to wonder about catching another leaf. Maybe I could have a leaf in each hand, and who knows, wouldn't that be fun? But something pretty obvious also occurred to me at a certain point, because I watched many a leaf fall that was a bit too far away for me to catch. And a certain very obvious idea occurred to me at a certain moment. You're going to have to chase the leaf. They're not all going to fall right in the perfect timing to land on you like that first one did. If the gods are still talking to you, you're going to have to do a little work. You're going to have to meet them halfway. I heard a story recently. It's a joke about a rabbi who prays to God for the winning lottery ticket. And eventually one day, God says, well, you got to meet me halfway and buy one. So I realized I'd better meet these leaves halfway, and I started to run towards leaves, and of course I was too late many a time, but eventually I saw one at a far enough distance, and I made the decision soon enough to aim for that leaf, god damn it, and run, and I got it, right? And so I went back to my game, and I was playing. But as I thought about it, how often in life have I wanted something but not really taken aim, not really followed it, not really prepared soon enough, properly enough, and then initiated action at the moment when I was ready or not, but it was going to be too late if I didn't go now. So again, I'm just running through the woods. Leaves are falling, and I'm playing this little random game, but this is all what's there. And just the last part of the story I'll say is that towards the end of my run, I was still playing the game, and I saw some leaves, and they were further off, but they were higher up, and I began to run after them, and still often it was too far away that I was going to catch it. But then I realized, what if the point wasn't to catch the leaf? What if it was simply to get closer so I could have a richer experience of observing the falling of the leaf, so that I could see more about its shape, or the way, well, like I noticed one leaf was very rapidly spinning like this. And so it was practically the same action. It was running after, but it was no longer that I needed to grab it. And that too opened up a certain amount of experience. So part of why I'm telling this story, and I'm going to wrap it up here, is because of an online class that I'm offering starting November 25th. And I'm going to put some information along with this video so that you can get into more details. But it's about this. It's called Movement as Metaphor, Experiments in the Body of Life. We'll use the Feldenkrais method to explore, but we'll be looking at how movement can create this kind of opening more broadly. And so get in touch if you'd like to know more. Thanks for listening.